Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today, I'm going to be doing a standings update video for you guys. If we take a quick look into the schedule for the 2019 Major League Baseball season, we are currently more than halfway done with this year's baseball season. And it's kind of crazy because it feels like April was just yesterday and opening day was just a couple of days ago. But no, we are in July. It is the All-Star break. Today's the Home Run Derby. Tomorrow's the All-Star game. It's nuts. And honestly, I just want to take a quick time out to kind of explain to you guys where your favorite team stands right now, if they have a shot at the postseason, and what's going on with Major League Baseball, some of the best teams, some of the worst teams, some of the biggest shocks this year. So we're going to get right into it with the American League East. Now, I'm very happy to say that the New York Yankees are in first. Let's go. They're 57-31, 6.5 games above the Rays, and honestly, they have murderers row in that lineup. Just injury has affected them a little bit this year. Who could know right now how much better they would have been in the first half if they had everyone healthy, like Judge and Stanton and all that good stuff? Of course, you would have guys like Urshela, who might not have as much playing time, and Aaron Hicks, who's also a little hurt. But hey, the Yankees, with what they had to do to kind of have a decent team, really performed well and won a lot of games. So first place, 648 win percentage. I'll take that. I'm very happy with their first half performance. I think they will duplicate that in the second half. And same with first place. I think they'll make the postseason that way. In second place, you have the Tampa Bay Rays, who again are 6.5 games back of the number one New York Yankees. They're 52-39. They're a very surprising team to me. Blake Snell has been pretty bad compared to his last year when he won the Cy Young Award for the American League. Tyler Glasnow's also been hurt, so starting pitching's gotten the worst of them. But they're 52-39, so really not terrible. And they are still ahead of the Boston Red Sox by 2.5 games. So moving over to that point, the Red Sox are 9 games back of the Yankees for first. I'm very happy. My favorite team's rivals aren't really that close to them. The Red Sox are 49-41, and I really don't think they're going to make the postseason. If anything, they'll come close to the Rays and almost have a wild card spot, but I don't think they will. Now, in fourth and fifth, you have the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles, respectively. Both teams really have not had a good season in a couple of years. We're not expecting anything out of them within the next few seasons. The Blue Jays at least have some young rookies with a lot of talent, like Vlad Jr. and Kevin Biggio. The Orioles just really need a lot of help. They're starting from the ground up, and it's going to take a long time for us to see either of those teams anywhere close to first, anytime soon, rather. In the AL Central, you have the Minnesota Twins, who have been one of the most surprising teams, probably going into 2019 second half. They're 56-33, 5.5 games above the Cleveland Indians. And usually this division isn't very competitive. You have the White Sox, the Royals, the Tigers, 3 teams that really haven't done much in recent years. So the Twins and the Indians are really the only teams who are expecting to go at it and have any competition, if at all. And the Indians are hosting the All-Star game, hosting the Home Run Derby, but they weren't really playing up to expectation going to the first half. And now, starting the second half within the next week or so, they really have to turn things around. Indians are 50-38. If they want a postseason appearance, their best shot is going to be via the wild card. They'd probably end up playing the Rays if that was the case. And the season ended today. So the White Sox are 42-44. They're 12.5 games back. The Royals are 27 games back of the Twins with a 30-61 record. And the Tigers are in last place this division with a 28-57 record, 26 games back. Now, in the final division for the American League, you have the Houston Astros in first. Now, this is not a surprise at all. The Astros have been amazing. They have some great players, very talented team. Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, George Springer. The list goes on and on. They have some great guys. They're 57-33, a 633 win percentage. They're 7.5 games above the Oakland Athletics. Now, the A's, for a little bit of time in these past 2 seasons, at first looked like they might have had a chance at like a wild card or some sort of postseason berth. At the moment, I don't really think it's going to happen. Granted that the Indians have played less games and they have the same amount of wins, I don't think the A's are going to go very far. They'll probably remain in second, maybe even drop down to third by the end of the second half. And I just said that because the Texas Rangers are in third. They're 48-42, 9 games back of the Astros, but Hunter Pence, their DH, has been amazing this year. He's having a breakout season. Fortunately, he's not in the All-Star game because of injury, but he was voted in he's very surprising as a player, and the Rangers are surprising, I think, as a team. Just that they are kind of holding their own for potentially second place in the AL West. So to kind of go ahead and finish out this division, you have the Angels and the Mariners. The Angels are 45 and 46, so just one game behind of a 500 win percentage. They're 12 and a half games back at first, however. And the Mariners, who were off to a pretty good start, they had, for what looked to be a decent amount of time, a decent offense. It was just their pitching that looked like it was probably going to affect them, and now just everything's kind of went downhill for them. The Mariners are 39 and 55, 20 games back. They'll stay in fifth probably for the remainder of the season. Going over to the National League now, in the NL East, you have the Atlanta Braves. Now, Josh Donaldson is my favorite not-Yankee player in the league right now. He is on the Braves. I'm very excited for him and the team, Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, etc. You know, the Braves are very good, very talented. I wasn't expecting them to be in first. Like, if you asked me back in April where the Braves would be, I'd probably say around second or third. But they're 6 games above the, get this, Washington Nationals. So yeah, the Braves are 54 and 37, Nationals 47-42. The Philadelphia Phillies, who I personally thought would be in first and make the World Series easily with the team that they have, especially after getting Bryce Harper, are in third with a 47-43 record. Now, I get that the Phillies are only a half game back of the Nationals for second, but 6.5 games back of the Braves is significant at this point in time, because if the Phillies see that the Braves are just kind of running away with things here, who's to say that they're going to go ahead and make some big acquisitions and trades before the trade deadline later in August? They might just count themselves out if by that time the trade deadline comes around, they don't have within a 2-game, 3-game span for first. It'll probably just be the end of the season for the Phillies, which is kind of surprising, kind of shocking. They've had some really great names this year on their team. Something's going on here. I think pitching is a bit of a problem, offense here and there. Bryce Harper, hitting-wise, is not doing it all what we expected, and that's really negatively hurting the Phillies. In fourth place, we see the New York Mets, who have struggled in recent years. I mean, they're trying to find themselves a home that's not fourth place in the division. They're 40 and 50 with a 444 win percentage, 13 and a half games back. They're not going anywhere. The first step they need to do, and maybe getting anywhere close to like third or second even for that matter, is firing Mickey Callaway. He needs to go. They need some better management, and then they need just the pitching to be locked down a little bit more, especially their starting pitching and their closing. DeGrom, Syndergaard have been really shaky this year. Edwin Diaz has won way too many saves as a closer. And then last in this division, Miami Marlins, not a surprise, 33 and 55. We all know their story. 19 and a half games back. They're not leaving that spot. They're going to be in fifth for the rest of 2019 and the NL East. Now you have the Central, and this is probably the most competitive division in Major League Baseball in 2019. The NL Central has the Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Brewers, St. Louis Cardinals, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Cincinnati Reds in that order. The Cubs are half game above the Brewers with a 47 and 43 record. The Brewers are 47 and 44. The Cardinals are 2 games back of the Cubs for first with a 44 and 44 record, giving them a 500 win percentage. The Pirates are 44 and 45, 2.5 games back of the Cubs, half game back of the Cardinals for third, 2 games back of the Brewers for second. And then the Reds, who 4.5 games back for first, are 41 and 46, but you cannot count them out because they, considering they're the last team in their division, they probably have the best games back chances out of every other fifth place team in any division, because 4.5 games back you can come back from. With the Cincinnati Reds and the team that they have, they probably won't, but you could potentially make a comeback and at least get second from that point, especially when you're only 4 games back of the second place team. So I'm really excited to see what happens here. The Cubs and the Brewers and the Cardinals are 3 very good teams, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I'd say maybe the Cubs, just if they're to go ahead and duplicate their first half, they would have a slight advantage over the Brewers if the Brewers did the same as well. So now we have the last division, the NL West, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are not surprising at all. Amazing team. They've been in the World Series the past couple of years. They're really just looking for a World Series win, but they have the team to do it this year. They're 60 and 32, 13.5 games above the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are running away with this. There's almost no chance that they can choke this lead like the Cleveland Indians back a couple years ago in the World Series. I think they have this in the bag. The Arizona Diamondbacks, as I mentioned, are 13.5 games back of the Dodgers for first. They're 46 and 45, and are half a game above the San Diego Padres, who are 45 and 45 with a 500 record. Now, the last two teams in Major League Baseball are the Rockies and the Giants for this division. The Rockies are 44-45 with 14.5 games back of the Dodgers, and the Giants are 41-48. They're 17.5 back at the first place team for the NL West. So guys, that's going to end this video. Let me know down below in the comment section the biggest surprises division-wise and first-place team-wise, or just anything-wise. I guess that doesn't really make sense, but the biggest team surprises you've seen in 2019 so far for this year. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Peace.